Hello and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat. Today we're going to be talking about the 24-25 season and why it's absolutely crucial for Ella Toone. Now Toone, she didn't have a bad season last season. I don't think she shone in the way she did when in the season before, when obviously she had that partnership with Alessia Russo. She didn't have a bad campaign last year, but I think that this season for me is really crucial for Ella Toone for a number of reasons. First of which I think there's a lot of competition for places in that England side, and she's going to be very hard pressed to be in a starting berth in that England squad come Euro 25.
Yeah, very much so. I think Toone will slightly feel pressured with the likes of Park and Clinton coming through in that attacking midfield.
Lauren James, we expect to play in that position.
Very good point, Lauren James as well. But yeah, for Toone, I think it was a decent season for her last campaign in a United side that had a lot of ups and downs. I think Toone's Aussie highlight moment really was that absolute stunner in the FA Cup final. Yeah. She had a brilliant performance at Wembley that day. And that game for me was one where we really saw Toone at her best. And it was really good to see Ella Toone firing on all the cylinders when it mattered most for her team in an FA Cup final. But as you say, for Toone, this is a big year. It's a big chance for her to really, I think she had a decent year last year. But as you say, with competition, with a, lot of things going on at United and England, I think it's very important for Toone that this season she kind of just says to everyone, all the doubts and concerns about her that, okay, I'm here, I'm still as good as I used to be.
Yeah, obviously she now faces internal competition because Grace Clinton is at United now, was on loan last season at Tottenham, is going to be staying at United this season. So how do those two work together in the same team? Is Clinton going to play in a wide area? She played there a bit for Tottenham, but I think she's definitely better in a midfield role. And so I find it very difficult for Toone and Clinton to coexist. Now, rotation's not a bad thing, but they've not got Champions League football, so it's not like they've got loads of minutes to go around. Obviously, they do have the cup competitions, and they do have enough league games to rotate. But for me, Toone's got to assert herself and make sure she is the number one.
Yeah, definitely so. It's a big season for Manchester United, obviously coming into this campaign off the back of being the first team to break the trophy duck for the rest of the WSL. Obviously, they're the first team to win a domestic trophy that isn't one of City, Arsenal or Chelsea.
That's 10 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a big thing. That is a huge step, and United need to take that momentum and need to build on it. This year, they've got to be pushing once again for a trophy. They've got to be trying to win things and trying to compete at the highest level in England. And that's important for United, but also Toone, because we know Ella Toone, she on her day one of the best players in the world, and she needs to prove that. And if United do want to go on to win trophies this season, do want to keep raising their level and pushing higher and higher up the league, then Toone is realistically going to be the leader in that. She's going to drive this United team forwards.
Yeah, I think leader's the key word there, because United are losing a lot of leadership in their hierarchy this season. Yeah. Captain Katie Zellum has departed on a free. Mary Earps has gone. That's a big voice in the changing room. And Lucia Garcia as well. They're all players who have been there a very long time and have assumed those leadership roles in the squad. And I do think now United are sorely lacking a leader. Now, they still haven't elected a new captain, but my best guess was that would be someone like Maya Letitia over an Ella Toone, but it could be Ella Toone. But either way, they need more leaders out on the field. They've got a lot of young players there, or a lot of players who haven't been at United for very long. I think they're not really bringing in any leadership, so Toone's got to bring some. She's got to start to be a leader in that United side, and not just with what she does on the pitch, but her voice, her communication, bringing her teammates at that level up. That's, for me, what's going to be biggest about Toone this season. Yeah,
very much so. And as you mentioned there, I think the other thing is, especially with Lucia Garcia leaving, is goal contributions. Garcia was probably United's best player in attacking areas last season. Now, I don't think replacing her numbers falls only on Toone, because you've got Clinton, you've got Mallard, you've got Heysay, whoever you want to name in those positions.
The exciting new signing is Elizabeth Turfland.
Oh, of course, Elizabeth Turfland.
I think that would change Toone's role.
Yeah, because Toone is realistically, it all starts with Toone. Those players playing well starts with Toone's, because she's going to be the one that is going to get them the chances. Turland will double her figures if Toone can supply her with the opportunities to score, and that's the big thing. I think you're right. It felt like after Russo left, Toone didn't really have anyone that she could supply to consistently, because I don't think that the striker position for United last season was really locked down by anyone. But with Turland coming in, Toone has got a player that she can build a solid partnership with, and if those two get on, that could be very dangerous to the WSL.
Yeah, we'll say, you say Elizabeth Turland could double her goals. If she does that, I think United win the league. She scored 13 in the WSL last season. So that'll be 20.
Yeah, in terms of if Turland scored 6 for United, that will become 12 if Toone supplies her. I don't think she's going to score 26 goals in 22 games.
She's going to win the Golden Boot by a
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, and United win the league. But no, I think Toone's role will be very different this season. She scored 6 goals last season, which was double her campaign from the year before, but she only registered 4 assists, which was half of what she did in the 22-23 season. So there was clearly a big hole in that striker position. It feels they've now fixed that. And at least in attacking areas, United look strong. Defensively, it's a mess.
That's a separate video.
They don't have a defensive midfielder. They don't have a goalkeeper at the moment. So they've got to deal with it. I mean, I know obviously Fallon Tullis-Joyce is there. I have some doubts there over her quality, and I would be surprised if they don't go and sign another goalkeeper. But they have, at least in attacking areas, United actually look really decent. And so... Again, there is pressure on Skinner. I know he won the FA Cup last season. That's definitely bought him some time. But there's a lot of animosity toward him from the Manchester United fan base. And I think rightfully so in certain instances. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on this year. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to make them do in attacking areas. I think they've got some good attackers. I think Hinata Mirzal was a very decent player. I don't think she really got the opportunity to show it last season. I think when Malvin Mallard played, she was really solid. I think Galton did okay at times. So they've got some really decent players. They've just got to make it click now.
Yeah, the thing for United is that I think they need to step it up. That, with Skinner, with the players, and Toone as well. In terms of, I look at players on this United team, players like of the quality of Toone, players of the quality of Clinton and Letitia. These players should be winning trophies consistently. These are world class footballers. I don't think that's wrong to say. I think Toone is world class. And realistically, the FA Cup was a brilliant start last season. They need to build on that. They need to up it in terms of winning silverware, but also performances on the pitch. They were battered by Chelsea, home and away. That simply cannot happen. Yeah. I mean, I know they beat them in the FA Cup, but that was one of the most controversial games of the season last season, with Zellum playing handball and all sorts going on in that game. But the fact of the matter is, they were battered at Stamford Bridge and they were absolutely tanked at Old Trafford. That was embarrassing on the final day. I know they didn't have much to play for and Chelsea needed to win the title, but that was simply embarrassing, really. And yes, they went on to win the FA Cup after that.
That's before that,
before that. But realistically, they cannot afford. They need to turn up against the big sides. They were beaten by City easily. They did well to get a point against Arsenal, but equally, I think D'Angelo can take most of the points of that draw. But yeah, United, very positive. It was an up and down season last year. Obviously, it ended brilliantly with the FA Cup win, but they need to build on that. They need to show more consistency. I'm not saying they should go and beat Chelsea 3-0, but was it 6-0 on the last day of the season?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unbelievable, really. That can't afford to happen.
Yeah, 6-0, big defeat. I think United have brought in some nice signings as well. I think Sandberg, the left back's a really nice addition. I think Dominic Janssen's a really nice addition. I think they're a goalkeeper and defensive midfielder away from being a very competitive side. The issue is, it doesn't seem to be the investment there, and they're not really pushing for signings. I know that they've been linked with Lisa Kopp, which is an okay signing, but does that take them up a level? Does that put them in the conversation with the top 3? Absolutely not. It's an okay signing, but it's not a huge... they've lost who I would argue in Mary Epps is the best goalkeeper in the WSL, and they've not really made much of an effort to replace her yet. Yeah. And even if they do go and get Lisa Kopp, I don't think that's an adequate replacement, in my opinion. I think that's a huge loss. You look at some of the results for United last season, I think a big part of why they won the FA Cup, and I know people will say, oh, well, Toone and Garcia and all these other players were fantastic in their moments, but I think the most key reason was Mary Epps.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't beat Chelsea without Mary Epps because she made some frankly ridiculous saves, and I don't think that they would have ultimately, therefore, won the competition. So, yes, they did well by winning it, but they've lost Epps, they've not really replaced her. That's a huge loss. They've still not got a named captain. It just feels like there's a lot missing for United at the moment, a lot that's a bit messy. And with Liverpool looking decent, with Tottenham looking decent, both making some decent signings. I know Tottenham have lost Clinton, that will be a huge loss, and that could be to United's gain with Grace Clinton coming back.
Yeah.
I just think there's still so much unknown with Manchester United. So much is just a mess at the moment.
I think they need to settle. What they need to show is they need to stabilise it. Yeah, I'm not saying that because need to find a place of stability, because as you say, there's so much going on off the pitch at Man United for the women's side, that on the pitch they need to just have consistent results and stabilise. Toone, she needs a big year. There's been rumours, you never know what's going to happen with Ella Toone. Obviously there was a couple of rumours last transfer window about her going to Barcelona or other places. We haven't seen any of that this window really, so that's not a problem. But it's things like that is why she needs to perform well. Because when things were going wrong, then rumours start to get circled round and things. So for Toone, a consistent and strong season linking up with Turland and Clinton and Mallard and whoever, it could be really pivotal for Toone and for Manchester United.
Yeah, it's worth noting as well, United this season, they're in a position where there's a lot of importance that they don't fall off. Yeah. 4th place, we expect, will be Europa League place. Now, they've not really announced how they're going to run the Europa League in the women's game, but we know that it's coming in 25-26, which is, of course, next season. So, if you finish 4th this year, we believe that will be qualification for the Europa League. Now, that's crucial, I think, for Manchester United to be back in Europe. If they allow Liverpool or Tottenham to get that 4th place this season, well, that could be huge, because they'll have more attraction because they're in European football. They'll have the money that comes from playing in European competition. United have to be wary of being left behind, because there's not a lot of investment coming from the top. So they've got to start earning some money. So that therefore, Ineos and Ratcliffe are looking at the women's side because they're business people. They look at what's going to earn the most money, and understandably to that extent, the men's side takes priority in the short term. I think that they will look to the women's side. I hope eventually. We know he's spoken before about how he does want to invest in it.
Yeah.
And I understand why immediately there's a lot to do with the men's team, but it does feel like if the women's side start performing well and start showing that there's something there to invest in, then that increases the chance there will be investment. Yeah,
it's not a nice scenario, but unfortunately that is the situation. The women's side need to perform to show that they're worthy of investment. Now that shouldn't be the case.
No, but and you look at the other clubs in the league, and that's not the case, because Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, they're doing it. They're investing in the women's side regardless of how that performs, because they recognise the value in it, the importance in it. For Ineos coming in, though, their prerogative is making sure it's a profitable venture. I think they're very much business focused, so United have to start performing so that the ownership see value.
I think if I was in that situation as a player, I think it would give you so much determination to prove them wrong. Yeah. Because you want to go out there and go, you're going to treat us like a business. We're going to show we can earn money. We're going to go win a trophy. We're going to go get Champions League qualification. That will give you that drive and that belief that you're going to go prove them wrong.
Yeah, might be difficult if they don't sign a goalkeeper though. So that could be quite a crucial thing. But yeah, I don't think United are far away from being competitive this season. A goalkeeper and a defence midfielder, I think they look good. Even in defence midfielder, I think they could probably get away with Ladd and Narsund. I don't think it's a great situation. They don't have any backups there, but that would do for the very short term. It does feel like another midfielder is definitely necessary though, because I don't see how you can have a midfield three with Ladd, Clinton and Toone in it, because I just don't think there's any balance or stability to that. You'd leave Ladd or Nelson to a place at the base of that very exposed, because you have two very attacking midfielders. Now I know Clinton can do a decent defensive contribution.
It's not what you want.
But yeah, she's better in those attacking areas. So I think there's a lot to be positive about for United. There's also a lot to be apprehensive about for Toone though, which is the topic of today's video. If she can raise her level again, if she can be that ceiling-raising player for United, I think there's huge ground to be made up there. I think she can to take them to the next level.
And if she can perform to the highest, her highest ability, then suddenly she is going into the Euros in 2025 in perfect form. And then suddenly, for Weigmann, it's a no-brainer to start her.
Yeah, I mean, she's got an absolute headache considering
that's
the
a horrible
options,
job to have.
You'd have to assume James would start. So for Toone, it's about how you can where you can push James. Yeah. Because if Toone plays well enough, she'll force James out to the left wing, and Toone will play in the attacking midfield role. And I think if Toone's playing on her game, she deserves to start for England. Yeah. The problem is, over the last season, I don't think she's been at that level. And if I was Weigmann right now, my attack is Alessia Russo leading the line, and then Hemp on the left-hand side, Mead on the right-hand side, and James in attack midfield. Yeah. Toone's got to disrupt that. Toone needs to.
She can. She's good enough to do that. She's got to do it.
Very true. Very true. She'll be on the plane. That's what's confirmed, but she'll want to be starting in that squad. But anyway, very interesting stuff. I think it's really interesting to see how United perform this season, how Toon performs this season. They, of course, opened the season with that home game against West Ham. It's a favourable start to the season, actually. They play West Ham, then Everton. I know they've got Chelsea after that away. But those first 2 games, it's a nice way to ease back into action. And I think we'll have a good understanding of how good they are before they then play Chelsea, Tottenham, Brighton, Arsenal.
That's not a nice run.
Brighton in there is nicer, but that Chelsea game on the 6th going to be a big indicator of how good United are, where that quality is this season. But yeah, I'm excited. WSL back in 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
3 weeks time, so very exciting. Next week we'll begin our season previews so look out for that. We're going to be previewing every side as we build up to the 24-25 season. So whether you're a fan of someone like Brighton, where there's not a lot of media coverage, or someone like Manchester United, we're going to be covering all of them. So look out for every one of those. So should be a good time. And then obviously predictions, and then we're right into the season. So an exciting time to be a women's football fan. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are as well. We've been watching pre-season recently. We'll have Champions League qualifiers coming up in a few weeks' time as well. So it all seems to be coming together now. A couple of weeks now to the start of the season. So exciting stuff. But yes, that is everything from us today. We did do a video on United a few weeks ago, so we're going to link that on screen now, so you can go and click that if you want. But that's everything from us today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.